Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about my audition experience at the Curtis Institute of Music. If you saw my YouTube video about my Juilliard audition experience, which will hopefully be somewhere on the screen, where you can click the link and go see it. You know that I talked about how I went on YouTube looking to see if other people had uploaded videos about their audition experiences so I could get a feel of, what to expect of these auditions at the auditions. So I did the same thing for the Curtis Institute of Music, which I'll just call Curtis. I did the same thing for Curtis, and there was only one video up. And he played the trombone or the trumpet. I think maybe the trombone. I don't know. But that's nowhere. There was one video. For Juilliard, there were maybe 7, but they were all, different, disciplines and stuff. But for Curtis, it was only one video, and it was an instrumentalist, and it was from 2010 or something. So today I'm going to tell you about the voice auditions because, as you know, if you see my other video, I'm a singer. And yes, I sing classical music because that's what you're required to sing at both schools for my specific major. So first, it's the same thing. You fill out an application. The application fee is $150, and the fee to submit your pre-screening, which is the video that they have to review to see if you even get an audition, is $100. So $250 just to apply. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I didn't have to pay because I got a fee waiver. Shout out to my counselor at school. Yeah, so then after that, about in, what was it, January? It was around the same time as I got my Juilliard audition confirmation. A few days later, I got an email from Chris Hodges, who's the admissions director, and he was like, "Yay, congratulations, you passed the pre-screening." And I was freaking out because, this school, they only accept 4 kids, so it's really hard to get it. It's really hard to get an audition, and it's very hard to get into the school. So, they sent me my audition date and everything, and so here comes March 8th, Tuesday, March 8th, which was the Tuesday that just passed. Today is the 12th. I show up, and I'm in my little suit, and they're like, "Hey, congratulations, you guys are here." My audition was at 3 o'clock, and there was another session that happened that morning, and then there was another session that's going to happen the next day, March 9th, that morning, and then finals callbacks will be that afternoon. At my session at 3 o'clock, they drew numbers. The ladies go first, and, you pick and see who goes first, or second, or third, or fourth, or fifth, or sixth, or seventh, or eighth, or ninth, or 10th, or 11th, or 12th, because it was only 12 people auditioning in my session. Chris Hodges, the director of admissions, told us that there will only be 50 people auditioning. 50 people. And there were 12 people in my session. So I was fifth. So once he gave out numbers, everybody got their audition time, their warm-up time, when you got 40 minutes to warm up. But as a singer, you shouldn't warm up for 40. Well, you can warm up for 40 minutes, but you just shouldn't sing for all 40 of those minutes. It's kind of strenuous. You're going to burn yourself out before your audition. So my advice is don't sing all 40 minutes. Just, try to do some breathing exercises and stuff. But yeah, so I go in and I audition with the same piece. I started with the same piece at every audition. I started with the Tosti piece. That's the really unnecessarily long title. And it was okay. And then they picked an English piece like every other school did. And it was okay. I felt terrible about my audition, honestly. I'm not trying to sound no type of way. I really was very sad after my audition. I was so disappointed. I really didn't and the panel, there's one guy who's over the voice department, and then there's some students in there that just watch, and they're all just looking at you like, okay, next piece, blah, blah, blah. okay, thank you, have a nice day. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. Like, I did so bad. Like, so after that, they tell us that they're gonna send out, and actually they're gonna post a list of the names of the people who made callbacks at 6 o'clock. Even from the morning session, which was like at 10. So the people from 10 o'clock had to wait all the way till 6 just to see if they made callbacks, which is kind of crazy. I only had to wait like 3 hours, but it was the craziest 3 hours of my life. Even like worse than Juilliard, because Curtis is so hard to get in. Like, you have to be better than so many people. Well, let me not say better, because there are a lot of different things that go into being picked. But it's such a small number. It was crazy. So they said they were gonna post a list and then send out emails at 6. So I went to my hotel and I was just freaking out with my parents. I was like, you guys, don't talk to me. I don't feel good about this. I just don't. And I'm texting my friend Emily, who was also at an audition. She also auditioned with me at Juilliard, and we got called back there. And so we're at Curtis, and I'm eating with my parents. We're eating dinner, and at some place that was in the hotel. And she was at her hotel, and we were just texting each other. And I was asking about another friend who had an audition that morning. So actually, no, that next morning. She was auditioning the next morning because it's still March 8th, and they're like, it's like almost 6 o'clock, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't know. So I have a friend that goes there, that goes to Curtis. We went to Tanglewood together, for those of you who know what Tanglewood is. It's a summer program for music. He goes to Curtis, and he took a picture of the list once it was posted and sent it to my friend Emily. So all of a sudden, I just got 2 text messages from my friend Emily after we had finished texting, and I was just like, oh God, what? And I mean, I didn't really think anything of it. I was just like, we were having a random conversation. I don't think it was 6 o'clock yet, or maybe it was, but they said they wouldn't post it till like 6:15, but I read the message, and it was like, we made it, baby. We rock so hard. And I'm just like, what? I made callbacks? I made it, my name, blah, blah, blah. And she sends me the picture, and there's, 6 names on the list. 6 names from the whole day. From the morning time to the evening, to the evening session. It was 6 names on that list. 2 boys and 4 girls. 2 boys and 4 girls. 6 names. Me, the only tenor on the list. My friend Motts, who also got called back at Juilliard, the only bass on the list. And my friend Emily, who also got called back at Juilliard. She wasn't the only mezzo. I think there was one other mezzo. And also my friend Marissa, I met her at Juilliard too. So like basically all the people who I knew at Juilliard that got called back at Juilliard also got called back at Curtis, pretty much. And then the next one, my friend Lindsay, who also got called back at Juilliard, got called back for her day too. So then comes finals. And one of my friends that go there just gave us some really good advice. He was like, this guy is looking for people who he can put on stage in 2 years. He's looking for opera singers. He's looking for performers. So perform. So I went in there, and I understand that you guys are trying to get a feel of, what happens, but this is my experience. Let me tell you what happened. And don't take my word for it, because it might change next year. Who knows what it'll be like next year, but this is what happened this year. I go in, the callback is in a different room. The callback is in like one of their recital halls. The actual main audition was in a rehearsal space. The callback was in a recital hall. They had the lights and the big piano on the stage and the microphones. It was crazy. So I started with the same piece I started with last time. Okay, I'm going to tell you this first, and then I'm going to come back to it. It'll make sense later. My first piece has an alternate ending. I'm a tenor, so tenors sing high notes sometimes. My first piece, the original score at the end, there's a note that only goes up to a G. But there's an alternate ending that has a B flat at the top. But I didn't want to take any chances, because at Juilliard, I cracked kind of. And it kind of messed with my head. So, but I still ended up getting called back. But at Curtis, I was just like, I can't take chances like that because they're only going to pick like maybe 4 kids to get in. So I sang that piece, I didn't do it, and then they picked my German piece, which I've never sang before, only sang it one time, and it actually went very well. So I was thankful to God for that. But then the main guy goes, oh, yeah, do you ever do the alternate ending to your Italian piece in your own time? And I'm just like, yeah, sometimes, I guess. And they're laughing, and he's like, okay, let's give it a go. And I'm like, okay, let's try it. Sure, why not? And he tells me where he wants me to start, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm saying under my breath, I'm like, balls to the wall, because that's what my teacher says when he wants me to go. So I'm doing it, and I did it, and it actually sounded really good. I think it went pretty well. And, you know, they clapped. I was like freaking out because they clapped. It was crazy. And then I left. And when I left the room, I was just so flabbergasted. Like, I was just like, that really just happened. One of the panelists came out. She was a piano teacher. She came out and was talking to my parents and was like, thank you for bringing him. And I was like, I'm like, even now saying it, I'm just freaking out because I was so nervous. I really, honestly, really didn't feel that good about my first audition. I feel great about my callback, not just because of their response, but how I felt in my singing. And I just felt so good. And I'm so happy that they liked me, you know. And that still doesn't mean I'm going to get in. Hopefully I do get in. But honestly, if I don't get in, I think I'll be okay. Because making it 2 callbacks at Curtis, the Curtis Institute of Music, that's ridiculous. That's not everybody even gets a chance to audition. So the fact that I got an audition and I got called back is just an amazing opportunity. So if I don't get in, I'll be okay. So they say they're going to get back to us about April 1st. So I hopefully can have an answer for you guys by then. But I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and hopefully I helped you. And if you have an audition for Curtis, congratulations, Toy. Good luck to you. Do well. But let yourself be nervous. This guy that does videos for Juilliard, his name is That Viola Kid or something like that. I don't know his real name. But one thing he said in one of his videos that I watched was he had to let himself be nervous and feel the nerves. Because if you try to suppress them and try to convince yourself that you're so confident, you're going to go in there and it's just going to, ugh. Because that's what I did in my first audition for Curtis. The main one, I walked in there and I was like, I'm not going to be nervous. I'm not going to be nervous. I'm not going to be nervous. Forget it. No, I'm confident. I got this. And I walked in there and I just didn't feel good. But in that callback, I was out there right before I walked in shaking. And I was just like, I'm so nervous. Oh my God, I'm so scared. What's going to happen? Am I going to do this? Is this going to happen? So letting myself be nervous ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me. So don't be afraid to feel nervous. Because it could be the thing that allows you to be admitted into the school of your dreams. So with that, I say goodbye.